Yes, indeed, the horrible sounds of Total Biscuit, written by Terpster, born to spec fire. Just for the record, there is in fact a, quote, UK idol. It's called Pop Idol, and we sadly exported it to you guys. We're very, very sorry. I apologise on behalf of the British people. Actually, no, the British people are generally jackasses. I apologise on behalf of the vast minority that encompasses the intelligent British populace, all 7 of them. You're listening to Blue Please here on WoW Radio with myself, Total Biscuit. Welcome to the show if you just tuned in. If you just tuned in, you've missed the vast majority. Well, you haven't really, have you, actually? Just about half of it. Which would be the majority, but it wouldn't exactly be vast. Anyway, let us get on with it. So, yes, Blizzard's April Fools. Many, many April Fools left side. I must say, I actually found some of them quite amusing. I found the whole Heroes of Azeroth thing quite funny, mainly because half the people playing World of Warcraft don't even know that Warcraft 3 exists. And I know this from experience in my Lincoln store. I've had people come up to me and it's like, is this an expansion for World of Warcraft? It's like, no, that's Warcraft 3. They're like, what's Warcraft 3? Why does it look different to World of Warcraft? Because it's a strategy game. When did this come out? Before WoW. Ugh, facepalm. So yeah, that was quite funny. Plus there's a mixtape of Heroes of EverQuest, which was perhaps one of the worst RTS I've ever played in my life. And on the topic of RTS, may I just say that Command & Conquer 3 does not innovate in the slightest, but it's still fun. So it's probably worth picking up anyway. What else have we got? The Black Temple Attunement. Now that was pretty funny. I don't even want to see how long they actually spent making it. And it wouldn't even entirely surprise me if there was anything remotely similar. The whole thing about killing all the heroic bosses within 10 minutes of each other was pretty funny. And of course Tinfoil Hat, which was... I'll give them that. It was a good shot at the people who don't like the Armory. Not that it makes my opinion about the Armory any less valid, but it was still pretty funny nonetheless. The Armory sucks. Accept it. Anyway, on we go. As you may or may not be aware, Lady Vashj is very, very dead. Ding dong. Now, the funny thing about this is that many people, including the Hill themselves, believed it couldn't actually be done. The reason being, it's a buggy, horrible-ass encounter that was never thought out properly. Really. I kid ye not. Now, there were various quotes. Sadly, unless I can find the cached version of it, which I very much doubt that I can, Kungan's epic rant, unless it was copied to the WoW Radio forums, which, again, I find unlikely, we'll have a look just in case, was deleted from the front page of nihilum.com, I assume because it was a good rant, and they were kind of scared that people might get pissy about it. It is interesting to see, though. I believe they actually really, really deserved to rant. They really did. Absolutely 110%, I do believe it. Now, we did get a slight quote from them, and I will read this out. Because sadly, that post has now been deleted, and I don't have a record for it, but I do have an excerpt still available. So here we go. This was from Kungan himself after the Lady Vashj kill, and he said, quote, "Now, let's talk about all this time spent in this bleep dungeon and what we get from it. Let's see, basically 0 upgrades because the loot is worse than 3-day-old French fries. Yes, it's that terrible. Now when we kill someone as Vashj, we expect godly loot. We want to get amazed. Instead, we get loot that is equal to Karazhan quality. Hell, even side grade of Karazhan items. Yes, bleeping Blizzard item design guy, I'm talking about the bleeping Paladin gauntlets you decided to put on Lady Vashj. What were you smoking at the time of making those? Or better, are you using a random item generator? Please tell me." Now, let's find out about those gloves, shall we? They got the tier 5 helm and they got this pretty nice dagger, but what they did get, which has been the bone of contention, is a pair of Paladin gloves. Now, let me track down those Paladin gloves for you, and let's do some relative comparisons. Come on, worldofraids.com. Load, load, load. You slow site. Tezza, sort your site out. Come on. This is just annoying as hell. Anyway, these Paladin gloves are apparently really, really lousy. And they go by the name of the Glorious Gauntlets of Crestfall, which is perhaps the most metrosexual name for a pair of gloves I've ever seen in my life. They also look ridiculous. Now, here's the stats. 982 armor, 22 stamina, 26 intellect. Yellow and red socket bonus 1 mana per 5, at which point I lolled heartily. Improves spell crit strike by 20, and increases healing done by spells and effects by 48. Let's do some comparisons. If I can. let's go to woweurope.com and let's have a look at the Tier 4 and Tier 5 items. And let's see what we can find as regards to that. If anyone else has got any other comparable items, then feel free to email me or PM me on IRC, themurloc@gmail.com, and the name TB on the air. Let's see what we got. Right. Dungeon set, Tier 5, in fact, raid set. And we're looking at, quite specifically, Paladin gear. There are 3 kinds of Paladin gear. There is one, which is healing, by the looks of it, the raiment. The armor is tanking, and the battle gear is DPS. DPS. Anyway, so let's have a look at the raiment, which looks exactly the same, I might add. The gloves from that. They are. Now, here's where you're going to lol. This is Tier 4. Let me repeat this. This is Tier 4. 25 stamina, 27 intellect, 18 spell crit, 66 healing. Now, let me just read out the other item for you once again, which has now completely disappeared off my bloody list. Where are we? The glorious gauntlets of Crestfall. 22 stamina, 26 intellect, 2 sockets, 48 healing and 20 spell crit. Now, if you look at it, that's not even an upgrade. Now, let's find out. Now, where exactly do those gloves drop, eh? Where do they drop? Let me find that out for you, because I cannot, for the life of me, remember. Yeah, they are called the Judasar gloves. Okay? Now let's put them into Wowhead and see what happens. The Judasar gloves. They come from the Handing Quest, yeah? And how do you get it? The Curator! The Curator, for the love of God. Not even halfway through Karazhan, the Curator. A relatively simplistic boss, you can acquire the gloves which are better than Lady Vashj's drop. Now, will you please explain to me the logic behind that? I mean, good Lord in heaven. That is ridiculous. Absolutely, completely and totally abysmal. Ew. Not only that, but there are actually some plate healing gloves that drop off the first boss in Karazhan. They go by the name of the Gauntlets of Renewed Hope. Now let's look those up, and let's do a comparison of those, because the first boss, Achiman, can be done in your sleep. Now this is where you're really going to laugh. 16 stamina, 26 intellect, 2 sockets, yeah, both blue, and the socket bonus is +3 int, restores 4 mana per 5, 55 healing. That's almost the same, if not arguably better for some builds. Good Lord! That's absolutely obscene. How stupid can the person who designed that be? Yes, this is Sparta. Or perhaps it's Cake Town. Either way, were it be Sparta or Cake Town, I very much doubt they would be wearing gloves that bad. It's an insult to Cake Town. Brush your teeth. Right. That is disgracefully bad. I mean, good Lord, that is disgracefully bad. Now, what does that prove? That proves to me that Blizzard never even bothered when it comes to that encounter. We've heard nightmares about that encounter, and we can expand on that by using information from Nihilum's very own site. They described what they believed. And I would tend to agree with them in that. Now, here we go. Lady Vashj Dead, but tuning is needed, is the title of a post by Awake. And he says this: as we mentioned in a previous update, we've been working very hard on the Lady Random. I mean the Lady Vashj. Now, that is very, very important, as you'll find out later. It used to be enjoyable until we discovered how broken everything is, especially in Phase 3. Quote, please fix your buggy, non-tested, totally random encounters. It's not surprising, yet again, we find ourselves at the end boss of an instance, only to find the encounter untested and as random as Kungan's lucky 100-sided dice. In our current state, the encounter is like trying to kill Kel'Thuzad, Cthulhu, and Magtheridon at the same time when they've just come back from a night out in Amsterdam. Add all the random factors to the encounter, and no matter if all 25 of us play like superstars, there is still a high chance that we will wipe. If you're curious as to what needs some tuning, click here. Now, this is Awake's blog. Awake says what needs fixing in the Lady Vashj encounter. And go read it for yourself at nihilum.co.uk/news/41/ or nihilum.co.uk/blog/1/entry/115/. Just check their blog pages. That's nihilum.co.uk for this one. The main problem is mind control. This is a major problem with the encounter because it can control anyone, even all the tanks who are tanking it. You have to raid with insane amounts of DPS, which we can live with, until they get mind control, which gives them plus 200% damage and 1000% healing, and they start one-shotting each other or healing Vashj for over 50k. Couple with that the random bats shooting you for 3.5k and static charging randoms. Oh, and I almost forgot, you have 4 minutes to kill her, and the chances of doing so are about 1 to 2%. She also loves to use her shock ability and shoot as you get to phase 3. On, at least how it appears to be, a random person in the raid. This player usually always dies and there's nothing you can do to prevent it. Her bat's poison is able to kill a phased out warlock imp. Now that even doesn't make any sense. That just sounds like a bug. How do you kill a phased out imp? You can't do anything to a phased out imp. You can't even buff it, if I remember correctly. And he goes on. I think with some tweaking of the mind control, this boss could be killable. We've had Lady Vashj low health for weeks now, our best rolls being 5 and 3%. Most phase 3 attempts were completely perfect, but a randomness of mind controlling people destroyed our entire rend in seconds. Yeah? And he says, the kill. When we had her at 15%, 25 people up, DPS was good. Nothing was going wrong. Then a few unlucky turn of events left us at 10% with about 20 people up. She bugged out, lost some hit points, and then we killed her. Another one instantly respawned after and wiped us. Now please tell me that that is not completely and totally broken in every way. Good Lord in heaven. It's a joke. Absolute bloody joke. I mean, this really does cap off what I've been trying to argue in the last couple of weeks. Any doubt in my mind, any doubt that this was just simply a mistake is thrown out of the window with all of this information. This encounter is so blatantly broken and untested that it beggars belief. And then even to reward it with loot which is worse than drops off the Curator and arguably worse than drops from Achuman the Bloody Hunter, who can be killed by 10 blind, deaf and dumb apes bashing the keyboard with their heads randomly, is an absolute farce. Really it is. And I mean, I've been speaking to some of the guys from Nihilum and they are not pleased. They are not pleased whatsoever. Why would they be? I really, to be quite honest, cannot justify that at all. It's just complete total jackassery. It really is. Let's see if we've got any emails on this particular issue. Since we've had emails on many, many, many things, this show, always a good thing. I like my community to get involved, and I can ignore them. Now, here we go. This is interesting. Hi TB, Snorky Yorkie here from Team Steamwheel Cartel EU. I am level 55. My helmet has more stamina than those gloves. Another example also, if you look at those gloves, is the armor value of them. Now, they're blatantly healing gloves. They have no other purpose. For some reason, they have crit on them, which I will never understand. As you're well aware, if you're going to be a pally tank, you need spell damage and crit, yeah? Because your spell damage is what helps you gain your aggro faster. That's cool. Except for the fact they're not spell damage gloves. I mean, gee, you know, you can look at it. And why the hell put that much armor on a pair of healing gloves? Absurd. And it really does bring out the issue of raid itemization. And the fact that right now it's just out of the window. Someone else emailed me. His name is Oscar Killad, also known as Idis, a Blood Elf Paladin from Doomhammer, and he says, you can get these dropped from the last boss of Hellfire Ramparts, Heroic. They are Paladin Plate Gloves, 23 Stamina, 25 Intellect, 18 Crit, and 55 Healing. Those are blue. Let me repeat that for you, just so that you can get an idea. Blue. And they're almost as good. They've got more healing on them, they don't have sockets. But they have more healing on them. They almost have the same crit strike. They've only got 2 crit strike rating less. They are pretty much identical. Those are the Life Bearer's Gauntlets, if anyone wants to look them up. So, we're looking at the Tier 4 Gauntlets, the Life Bearer's Gauntlets, and the Gauntlets of something Hope? Lost Hope or whatever, or Renewed Hope, I can't remember. Terrible. Absolutely abysmal, in my honest opinion. A perfect example of something that really, really was not thought through properly. I really must protest at that, because that's a real kick in the teeth. It's not only a kick in the teeth to the people that have managed to get this boss down, and well done for them for actually managing it, because, to be honest, even they thought it was impossible, and rightly so, by the look of it. But it's just a slap in the face to the community. And it's a real slap in da face. I mean, more so than the April Fool's jokes. It's pretty damn horrific, in my honest opinion. Really is. You're listening to Blue Please here on WoW Radio with myself, Total Biscuit. I think it's time for a little bit of rap in the forums. It's about April Fools. It's gotta have to be about April Fools. I am going to allow Allurian today, our very useful IRC monkey, to show you the thread so you can rap along. Enjoy. Yo, folks, shizzle and so forth, it's time for yet another edition of the one and only Rap in the Forums. News just in, Rap in the Forums has in fact been acquired by Blizzard as their new MMO. Okay. Now have a look at this. It's by Nice Forest, it's from We Got This on Tychondrius. Let's find out what happens. In this epic tale... It's a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Blizzard tries to hard on April 1st if they put in as much effort into their raid instances. Maybe we'd have Blizzard that'll work out. Whilst I found the Wiz page funny last year at the tinfoil hat this year a bit of a laugh too. I couldn't help but be sad when I said this. I saw a very important time of the year for Blizzard to play practical jokes and carry on in the forwards. But really, once I saw the Black Temple at Human page, I just wondered, are Blizzard more concerned with a funny website or having good seamless fun-free content? After I ran bugging out on us for the second time this week, kill him and you're locked in his room and he respawns in 30 minutes along with the trash, hooray! And the GM's being unable to help us, whether it be the incapability or indifference, seeing that Blizz is more worried about their Fool's Day pranks than making sure their game works correctly disappoints me. Come on guys, it's funny, I guess, but for those who actually play the game rather than rousing the forums, we're not laughing. Calm, nice for us, Trev, simple, really. ... It's a one-day-a-year thing, it's April Fool's Day. Let them have some effing fun and stop your effing. God forbid a game company has a sense of humor. WTB, sense of humor, PSTTLDR. Who are you to speak for us? I love them. This is the sort of thing that makes them not come across as a mindless, faceless, evil corporation. They don't do these things while sitting in a boardroom saying, I wonder how we can make people think we are cool and that this would let us by doing the important stuff more. Stop trying. We all know that the web team has nothing to do with seamless, problem-free content, but that when they mess around on April 1st, the dev team is still working hard to keep our game fun. Let them have their fun. You can kick it tomorrow. Do you try to make light of a very serious day? This is a slap in the face. Some people just take April Fool's Day way too seriously. Would you be happier if we were told that your shoes were untied / wave neck? I find it really funny that the CMs are all level 1 trolls. Downloads with it today. Wait guys, he's right. We should all be soulless raiders. And Blitz should just be a souls raid generator. Now there will be no more silliness from this point on. Lol, what? Unacceptable. Now Theria is a troll now. True story. Lol, QQ more. The OP is a veritable fountain of fail. Exactly, and anyone that thinks otherwise is a fool besides. It takes a lot less to make a web-based work than it does a game. Lol, I love today. OMG, your text is not blue when you're not speaking in all caps. What you say is important. Isn't this important?
It's over 9,000!
It's a 5 and a 6 and a 2 and a 4. Seriously, unacceptable slap in the face band. Enjoy your vacation, lol noob. Hope he just got pwned on April Fool's Day, poor guy. There's more to life than raiding, you know. Wasn't it before? Just take your troll butt to Tiggle and tell it to fix SSC and the trash in it. Nearly a month and a half since his awareness on consumables and raiding, and nothing has been stated about it. Don't make us suspend you for 3 hours for the 89723408750981. What is this? 409750862 097234097. 25th time. Web development team is not game development team, so even so I have a solution for you. Read this. Get a grip. Profit. Some of those aren't hopeless malcontents looking forward to the effort the good people at Blizzard expend to work on a Sunday to give us a little humor. So suck it up, Sancho, cause trolling the boards today gets you no sympathy. Love, this is best day. Actually, the funniest thing that did on April Fool's Day was during development of WoW when they told ogres would be a playable race, and I think they were all pretty funny this year too. Well, every year someone makes this same post, so every year someone needs to remind him that Blizzard Web Team does not develop raid content. Actually, it would be pretty cool if they were, say, random raid instances. Kind of how? EQ. Diz Lost. Dungeons Pickles IMO /high.